Hello and welcome to the Ellen Made Book Club. Today I have a little book haul for you. Yeah, I went a little crazy at the thrift stores and I just want to show you what I got. So yeah, I'm just here at there's a bug that just flew into my coffee. Ugh. Are you okay? That was unnecessary. I don't know, I think he might have drowned. I'm sorry, don't fly into my coffee then. Well, that's how it goes when you try to have a nice little set outside. Anyways, what was I saying? So I am in my garden at my cabin, just having some coffee in one of the mugs that I also found secondhand. I found a whole set of like different patterns, and so I just got them all. They were about $1 each, so yeah, perfect for my little cabin. I went thrifting for books a few times in May and like the beginning of June. I didn't film a lot of it, I don't think, but yeah, I went a few different times. The first few times I kind of got some books that were maybe not on my wish list or like that I hadn't planned on buying, but that I just found. And sometimes you want to just buy a book, you know? Sometimes it's fun to just browse and look around and see what they have, and sometimes you just need to buy a book because it's just that kind of day. So I have a couple of those kinds of books that I just picked because they were what I could find that day in that store. But I also have a few finds that I have been wanting to get that I'm really happy about. There was one time in one of the charity shops where I feel like I came in right after someone who donated all of the books that I want to read, like someone with a similar taste, but they didn't get around to reading them, or I don't know. So yeah, I just had these stacks of books that I wanted to get, to the point where the staff in the charity shop like came over with paper bags of new books that they had just they were gonna put out on the shelves. Like, you can look through these as well. Like, thanks. Yeah, so I think I bought like 10 books that day, and I think I have about 20 in total to show you. So I'm not gonna go into each and every one super deep. There are a couple of like sets, so yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit quick but still show you what I got. So I have these two bags, and I'll just start with this bag and see what I pick up. So the first book I got was The Tesseract by Alex Garland, who is the author of The Beach, which I haven't read or seen, but I've heard it's good. I think I looked the rating up on Goodreads when I was in the store, so that's maybe why I got this. I just thought the premise sounded interesting. It's really short, so I'll just read it. It says, as night falls in Manila, Sean waits for gangster Don Pepe in a deserted, roach-infested hotel. He could die tonight, and anyone who strays into his path could end up dead too. A Filipino family in the suburbs, a gang of street kids. In a few hours, their destinies will violently collide. Yeah, I just thought that sounded interesting, and I've never read anything set in Manila, and it seemed suspenseful. It says, astonishing, a brilliantly structured, surprisingly compassionate novel disguised as an exotic, speedy thriller. So that sounded fun, something different, and I like a variety. So that's the first book I got. Oh, what do you call them? Like the helicopter bugs? What do you call them? People do them as tattoos? What's it called? I don't know. Anyways, the other book I got that time was Havana Gold by Leonardo Padura. Sorry. And this says it's the fourth of the prize-winning Havana Quartet featuring Police Lieutenant Mario Conde. And so this is set in Havana in Cuba in 1955. No, sorry, the author was born in 1955. I don't know when it's set. It says on the front it's the fourth of the prize-winning Havana Quartet. The fourth? Well, that's stupid. I thought in my head it was the first. So that's dumb. Okay, well that's dumb then. So this is the last book? Wait, what? The other book I got that time was Havana Gold by Leonardo Padura, who is a Cuban author. And this is set in Cuba. It's a detective story. And apparently it's called the Havana Quartet. So it's a set of 4 books. But I think I thought that this was the first book, but it says that it's the 4th. So that might have been a bit stupid. But I guess I'm now on the hunt for the first 3 parts in the series, because I feel like it's stupid to start with the last one. If it were like a long series with like 20 books, I could read number 4 first, but I feel like if it's number 4 in a quartet, that seems a bit backwards. So, okay, well, I'm still intrigued by this. But yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for books number 1, 2, and 3, I guess. Okay, moving on. So the rest of the books, I don't know which order I got these in or anything like that, but the next book I'm gonna show you is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And this is the book that I've had on my wish list and like been keeping an eye out for. I did think that this was in English since the title is in English, but it's actually translated into Swedish. So I was a little bit disappointed in that when I came home, but for this, I'm not really reading it for the language or like the writing style. I'm more reading it for the story, which is about a girl who witnesses her childhood friend be shot to death by the police. So it's got race, police brutality, and also the main character is 16 and is living in 2 worlds, the poor suburb and a nice private school. So yeah, I've heard good things about this book and I'm intrigued to read it. And it's also got really very, very pink cover, which I like. Next up we have Herravälde by Elin Olofsson, which is a Swedish author and Swedish book. This is historical fiction. It's set in 1921, which is the first time when women were allowed to vote in Sweden. And there's a woman who has to step in as like the CEO of a company instead of her husband when he has a stroke. And there are like famous artists mentioned in the premise here. I don't really know. I just think it looked good. It's in really good condition and it's got nice reviews and things. So yeah, I don't really think I have any historical fiction set in Sweden. And so I don't know, with all these like, booktube challenges and like different tags and things, I just think it makes me want to sort of broaden my reading a little bit. And I realized I haven't read a lot of Swedish authors recently. So yeah, this sounded interesting, sounded like a feminist story, and that sounds like something for me. So decided to pick that up as well. Next up we have another crime thriller, Memory Man by David Baldacci. And this one says introducing Amos Decker, which is the main character. So I guess this one is at least the first in a series, I'm hoping. So this follows a detective whose wife and child are murdered, and he spirals into grief and maybe doesn't want to live anymore, and he loses his job as a detective. But then his colleague comes and says something, and he's sparked to find justice for his family. It seems really suspenseful, and it's really thick, but the font is quite big. And yeah, I've just heard this author's name before, and it sounded intriguing. So picked that up, and if I like it, at least this is number 1. Next up, I have a really tiny little book, just really, really tiny. It is Franny and Zooey by J.D. Salinger, who is the author of Catcher in the Rye, which I have heard Pat at Book Chat with Pat mention very many times. And so, I don't know, the look of this book just intrigued me, like this small little book. And when I realized that he is the author of The Catcher in the Rye, I just thought, why not? And it's in English and it's really short. It doesn't say anything what it's about. But I feel like it won't take very long to find out since it's so short. And yeah, some of the books I have are so intimidating, and so I feel like this might be a little bit lighter or like quicker, Next up is a book that I have been wanting to read basically since it came out. Well, maybe not. I was pretty young when it came out, but I've heard about it so many times since it came out, and I've always wanted to read it and see how I like it, but I've never gotten around to it, and now I found it, and so I bought it, and that is White Teeth by Zadie Smith. Really like that cover. It's in Swedish. It's a Swedish translation, but I don't really mind. I have been wanting to read this forever, and so when I saw it, I just figured I will get it, and if I like it, I might try and get her next books in English, because this is an author that I would have preferred to read in English if I could, but I also just want to know what the story is about, because I don't really know. I just know that this is a very well-liked book, and I'm intrigued to get to this at some point. Okay, so I have 2 books left in this bag, and the first one is, let's see, I have all these like receipts everywhere, by Peter May, The Blackhouse, maybe the English title is. This is a Swedish translation. There's more receipts. So this is a crime trilogy, and this is the first part, because it has the picture of the next 2 parts on the back, which is very helpful. Thank you. I don't really know what it's about, but it seems kind of dark. I think it's set in Ireland or Scotland, on Isle of Lewis. I'm not sure where that is, but somewhere around there. And yeah, seemed good. Had a lot of like nice quotes on it, and I just figured why not? And it's in really good condition, as a lot of these books are, so why not? So next up is another first part of a series. Yes, what did you want to say? Okay. So next up is another first part of a series, a very different vibe. This is One for the Money by Janet Evanovich, and it seems like a funny mystery type of book series, which might be fun. It has a female main character, I think. Yeah, I don't really know what it's about. It just sounded fun. It had pretty good ratings on Goodreads, I think. And it's got a whole like list of books in here. So there's 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get deadly, 4 to score, high 5, hot 6, 7 up, hard 8, and to the 9s. So it sounds like kind of pun titles. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this, but I'm willing to try and see. Might be fun. Next up is 1984 by George Orwell. I have the Swedish translation at home. I borrowed that from my parents' house, but I wanted the English original, and I saw it and I bought it. And it even came with a little bookmark, so that was nice. Hardbacks give me toothache. And yeah, it looks like we might be reading this for book club in June. So very happy I found this, very timely. And I got it at a great price as well. The original price was 149 crowns, and I got this for about 7 crowns. So less than $1 for this. I'm very happy. The next one was also a fun find. It's Belgravia by Julian Fellows, who is the man behind Downton Abbey, who wrote every single episode of Downton Abbey. And that's really all I needed to know to buy this book, that and the fact that it has gold on the cover. And it's very pretty. This is set in London in the 1800s. It starts the night before Waterloo begins. And yeah, it's about class and love and upstairs, downstairs kind of scenarios. And yeah, very happy to have found that. It's in great condition. And yeah, there's a picture of Julian Fellows on the back as well. Actor, author, and screenwriter. Very happy. And like I said, I'm going for variety here. So next up we have One Little Lie by Lauren Weisberger. Is that her name? Who's the author of Devil Wears Prada. And that's really all I needed to know to buy this one as well. And it also says fans of Big Little Lies will adore it. I loved Big Little Lies. And so like Big Little Lies combined with The Devil Wears Prada. And it's got ice cream on the cover. It says last summer's secret is this summer's hottest scandal. It was one harmless little lie, that was all. You were only looking out for your daughter, like any mother would. But secrets always surface. Now yours is suddenly the talk of the town. And everything you try to protect, your family, your career, your picture-perfect life, is about to come crashing down. Very fun, very summery. I don't know how I'm going to have time to read this summer, but maybe I'll just get in like a turbo, like another gear of reading, and then I will have this to choose from. Or when winter comes and I want a bit of a summer, a memory of summer, and I can pick this up and yeah, love it. Also perfect condition. I also picked up 2 memoirs that sounded very interesting. The first one is by Michelle Knight and Michelle Burford, and this is the Swedish translation. 11 Years in Captivity is the Swedish title. Translated to English, I'm not sure what the English title is. It might say. The original title is Finding Me. So this is about a girl who was kidnapped by her school bus driver in Cleveland in 2002. And then 2 more girls were kidnapped in 2003 and 2004. And so, yeah, she was in captivity for 11 years, it sounds like. And so this is her story about that and how they managed to get out of there, I suppose. It sounds absolutely horrifying, but it sounds like a documentary I would watch, so I just picked it up and hopefully I will enjoy it as a book. But yeah, it freaks me out a little bit, but I still wanted to give it a try and see what I think about it. The other memoir I got was In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park, who escaped from North Korea. Not for freedom, because she didn't know what freedom was, it says on the back, but she just knew that she had to get out of there in order to live. Like if she stayed there, she would die from starvation, disease, or execution. So somehow she made it out of there through smugglers and ended up in China and in South Korea and is now a human rights activist. This sounds really intriguing and I couldn't not buy it when I saw it. I think North Korea is one of those countries that's kind of given up on, or like the rest of the world is just like, well, they're doing their thing and they won't let anyone in, and so what are we going to do about it? And yeah, I don't know what to do about it either. I'm just saying there are a lot of people living there who are stuck there and don't even know that they're stuck there. Yeah, it's just a horrible place to be. And I'm very intrigued to read her story and how she got out of there. And it sounds like she has been through a lot on that journey as well. So yeah, intrigued to read this. And happy to have 2 more memoirs to add to my collection because I haven't read that many and I want to read more of them. The next book I got was Transcription by Kate Atkinson. I don't think I've ever read anything by Kate Atkinson, but I've heard good things, I think, if I'm not confusing her with another author. But I don't know, this sounded good. The flamingo got me. The color combination on this cover is painful on the eyes. So let me just show it to you a bit more. I mean, the flamingo is nice, but the color combination of the text on that color, no, not good. Anyways, I'm not here to critique the design. It seems to be a funny spy novel set in the 1940s in Britain, and there are female characters, and that sounds good to me. There's the MI5, there are British fascist sympathizers, there's the BBC. It seems there is some kind of a typewriter turned agent. I'm not really sure. Sounds fun. The next two books I have been wanting to get, they are 1,000 Splendid Suns and The Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini, who is the author of Kite Runner, which I haven't read yet, but I have heard good things, especially about 1,000 Splendid Suns as well, and so saw them. They were cheap. I got them. I have them. And I'm very happy about that. These are set in Afghanistan. I think they're going to be heartbreaking and beautiful and great, and I'm looking forward to reading these. I'm going to start with Kite Runner eventually, but after I've read that, I am happy to have these to move on to after that. Yeah, I've been wanting to get them. They were cheap. I got them. I'm very happy. Oh, that's not good. No more wind, please. It's getting a bit windy. Almost done. The next two books are by the Swedish author Fredrik Backman, and it's Beartown and Us Against You, I think the English titles are. Björnstad and Vi mot er in Swedish. This is the first one, and this is a standalone sequel. I've seen the TV adaptation of this, and I thought it was really good, but I haven't read the book, and I've heard very good things. And this is the sequel to that, and they're both in great condition, and I got them for really cheap, and yeah, I couldn't not get them. And these were definitely in the pile of books that I was like, someone just donated a pile of gold, and I'm like grabbing it for $7. So yeah, really happy about these. These are set in the north of Sweden. It's a small town. There's a hockey team. There are things going on. Follows the different families that are connected to that hockey team, if I remember correctly. And yeah, lots of intrigue and things happening. And it's kind of suspenseful, if I remember correctly. And there's rivalry and struggles for money, power, and survival. Intense. Lovely. And the last book is a short story collection, Dear Life, by Alice Munro, who is a Nobel Prize winner 2013, and who has recently passed away, which I heard about like a few days after I bought this. So I've never read anything by her before, but I saw this. It was in good condition. It's a short story collection. It's a Nobel Prize winner, and so I just thought, why not? It had really good quotes on the back, like from Margaret Atwood, and yeah, it sounded really great. And I was sad to hear the news that she has passed away, even though I hadn't read anything by her before. But yeah, it just felt good that I had just bought this. Also winner of the Man Booker International Prize. So yeah, I'm happy to have this in my collection now, and looking forward to reading this at some point. It says she captures the essence of life in her brilliant new collection of stories. Moments of change, chance encounters, the twist of fate that leads a person to a new way of thinking or being. The stories in Dear Life build to form a radiant, indelible portrait of just how dangerous and strange ordinary life can be. Yeah, I like the sound of that. I also have to check how much I spent on these, because some were really cheap, some were like $2, but some were really cheap. So I just want to tally up how much I spent on these. I think there are 20 books. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, so I have looked through my receipts, and I spent about $20 for these 20 books. Some were like $2 each, and some were like half $1. So yeah, very happy about that. And I'm very happy about the variety of books that I got. There are a couple of classics, a short story collection, 2 memoirs, some lighter, fluffier reads, some historical fiction, some mysteries, crime novels, and books that I've been wanting to get, like White Teeth by Zadie Smith, and the Khaled Hosseini books, and the Fredrik Backman books, and The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And yeah, I'm really happy about all of the books that I got. I hope you enjoyed seeing them in this video and that you are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my God. Is it gonna be that kind of day? Please don't crawl on me. Maybe it's just my dress.